Hello guys, hope you guys are doing great, you're doing fine. Welcome back to today's channel, today's video, today's episode. We always have a lot for you, so please welcome to this channel. And here we are going to discuss on a lot about parenting, motherhood, children, and all that to do with motherhood in general. So the plate is always full. What do we have on the table today? Yes, welcome. Feel free to join in, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and be part of the big family. So today I want to discuss on issues concerning colic babies. First of all, what is colic babies? Have you ever heard of that? My baby's being colic, colic babies and all that. Have you ever heard of that term colic in babies? Yes, this is the term that happens to babies. And this is is it a condition or something that it just happens where the baby is crying and crying and crying. Nothing can soothe that baby. The baby is crying especially at night. Sometimes I was asking myself, are there some demons that disturb our babies at night? Because you can find that the baby is crying non-stop. And they cry at night mostly. When you want to sleep and want to rest, the baby starts crying. So today we're going to discuss some of the points as to why it causes babies to cry a lot, or babies to become in that condition whereby they are colic. Sometimes they are called colic babies. Is your baby colic? So does your baby cry a lot at night? What are the causes of? And sometimes being colic, it doesn't really mean at night. Sometimes even they cry even during day. But that crying, non-stop crying, sometimes it's so annoying. Sometimes it's so, you feel like the baby is crying non-stop. So some of the reasons as to why, by the way, if that condition persists, please, you may seek medical attention. Maybe there is something that is so much deeper than what we may think. But some of the reasons as to why some babies cry a lot at night. Mine was crying a lot at night. One of the things is sometimes they are not satisfied. They don't get enough. I know there are those babies who are always hungry. Even sometimes, even this, like you are having a toddler, all your children are different. Even that particular kid, whereby they just want to eat all the time. They just like, they get a snack here, they get this, they just like eating. Their stomachs is always empty. So some of the reasons can just be the same reason. They are not getting enough. So their stomachs is empty. And when the stomach is empty, the only sign to show you is by crying. So when they're crying, they cry. And sometimes they can cry to the extent that they don't want to eat. They are crying, they have cried so much, but then again, they don't want to eat. So now that there it becomes a problem. Because they are crying because they are hungry, they should be eating, but then they refuse to eat. So if it reaches in that situation, you can seek medical attention. But also not only that, sometimes they are either cold or they are too hot. The only language babies can speak to us mostly is by crying. And that's what we find. If the baby is very hungry and the baby wants to eat, most of the time what they do, they can circle their fingers, everything you get, they put it in the mouth, and they just want to eat something. They are very hungry. So you find that they can just be crying all the time. So some of the reasons as to why some babies end up being colic is because their stomachs are like they're having a hole. It needs to be filled. So they need to eat. So you find that the breast milk you are giving, and this mostly happens for my baby, because for me, I love giving by example, talking by examples. The first 3 months, it's where the baby will cry non-stop. Like my firstborn, the first 3 months. But also the other reason, one person told me Because you know, when you're in that situation, you ask from people, why do you think this? One of the reason is they have come out in a new environment. They're finding it's a new environment. So when to some babies, for them, that environment itself, it's hectic to them. So this one can also cause them to cry because they are used to being in a womb. So now they have come out to the new environment. Everything is new. The sounds, the everything. So you find that they see like, So they keep, it leads to, for them to what? To cry. So, but you can check out for, on the following. If your baby is crying a lot, check if are they having enough clothes. And even you as a parent, you can see the weather. If it's too cold, then put enough clothes for your baby. But then if it's too warm, sometimes we cover our babies a lot, mothers. You know, you feel like maybe the baby is feeling cold. Maybe you add a blanket after blanket, a baby shower after a baby shower. So find that you have covered your baby a lot. So your baby is sweating inside. What will result out of that? The baby will start crying. So make sure that your baby is having enough clothes if it's very cold, or less clothes if it's very warm. But other thing is also diaper. Some babies, they don't want to feel that urine in their body. They don't want to feel it. I know when the babies are little, they pee all the time because they are breastfeeding. So they pee all the time. And because they are peeing all the time, they also need to be changed all the time. So you can find that you are changing 8 diapers, 10 diapers after every some time. So because that one can also be a reason as to why babies cry a lot. They cry a lot because they want to be changed. They don't want to be with the wet diaper, no matter how little it is. They want to be changed. So mothers out there, be prepared. Sometimes babies become colic and they cry because of that little urine they are having inside. They don't want it. So make sure that you have changed the diapers. Make sure that they have had enough breast milk if they are still breastfeeding. So make sure that they have got enough. And even if you're giving formula, make sure that they have got enough. They are full. They are having proper dressing. If it's warm or if it's cold, you have dressed them well. But also the diapers. Make sure that you change their diapers. And also the other one, there are some parents whereby you find your baby is so crying all the time, they give the pacifiers. But when the pacifier is out, they start crying again. My dear, pacifiers won't stop your baby from crying, because they cry even if they are having their pacifiers in their mouth. They can continue crying. So just make sure that you check on those. But if a situation depends, please seek medical advice, because sometimes maybe they can be having some problem with their stomachs. Maybe they can be having some sickness kind of. So seek medical attention. But it normally reduces. The first 3 months, sometimes they can be hectic, but as the baby goes to the 4th month, it reduces and it ends. But if you see that it persists, your baby keeps crying and crying and crying, then seek medical attention, because there might be something wrong with the baby. But I also want to encourage you mothers, crying it's also normal. Don't think that if your baby just cries, maybe my baby is sick, maybe my baby has been bewitched, because sometimes we believe in those witchcraft, and maybe my baby has been bewitched, maybe my baby has this and this. Crying is normal for the newborn babies, but it reduces as time goes on. So don't be so discouraged or scared if your baby is crying. It will just stop as time goes by. Hope today's video has helped you something, or you've learned something. Thank you so much. Bye for now.